As of right, all right, cool. So, welcome to Sunday Heart Check, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Terrence McGee. Every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, well, Central Standard Time, Central Standard Time. I do this to make sure that not only my heart is right, but so is everybody is in his business, right? Because the last thing I want you to do is have the wrong intentions, the wrong heart in achieving your goal, right? I want to make sure that your heart is right when setting out for your goal. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'll start it off this way. Okay, start it off this way. A couple of Sundays ago, I think it was last Sunday. It was last Sunday. We if I can, let's see something here. All right, cool. So I think last Sunday, a few of my leaders and we watched we was on the Believe Nation event, the I Believe event. And I tell you, if you were not there, you missed something that was truly, truly powerful. I mean, the leaders, the millionaires, the people who were there, who spoke, they had a lot of gems that were dropped. A lot of gems were dropped in that, right? A lot of gems were dropped in that event. It was very powerful. It was one of the best events that I've seen virtually. I know a couple of my leaders were there. They were right there in person. So they had a great time. So a bunch of gems were dropped, but this one powerful speaker, I'm pretty sure that you guys know who she is. She goes by, Michelle Williams. That's her name. Her name is Tanitra Michelle Williams. But everybody that knows her as Michelle Williams. She was a singer for Destiny's Child, right? And now, she's a phenomenal speaker, phenomenal woman of God, woman of excellence. And she dropped something that stuck with me, right? And it had to do with emotional strength. And that's what I want to talk about. So, guys, I know I'm talking to the guys now. I know men don't get emotional a lot, right? I've heard it said that women get more emotional. Women get emotional, men don't. I want to tell you that that's not necessarily true. Men do have emotions. We do get emotional. All right, we do get emotional. So this is for men and women, right? We need to have control over our emotions. We need to have what's called emotional strength, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because if we don't have emotional strength, guys, we won't get to our goals fast. Okay, we won't get to our goals at all. Why? Because we let our emotions control us. All right, so we need to figure out how to deal with it. I'm going to be sharing some things on how we get our needs met, some emotional needs, and hey, how to get them met. All right, now let's see if we can keep this going. Now, here are some emotional needs. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them because there are a plethora of emotional needs, right? I just want to go over some. So, the first one is acceptance, okay? And that is the need to know that you are loved regardless of your mistakes, right? So, we all know that there's two types of love, unconditional and conditional. And if you're taking notes, I need you to write this down. I need you to write this down. Is your love unconditional or conditional? What do I mean by conditional? That means, hey, if you do this, then I will love you. It's almost like the if and then factor. If you do this, then I will love you for the rest of my life. If you wash the dishes, I will love you more. Or I will love you more if you clean your room, right? So, I mean, while that's pretty good, we have to be careful. What if he never cleans his room? What if they never wash the dishes? Will you still love them? Right? What if they don't do what you ask them to do all of the time? Will you still accept them for who they are, right? Which comes down, do you accept me no matter my mistakes? Guys, this works in business because people are not perfect, right? People make mistakes. People do things that tee you off. All right. People do stuff that leaves you in confusion. It's like what? Why would you do that? Like what? I don't understand what made you want to even say that or even do that. But are you willing to accept them? Right? Because you never know what they're going through in life. Guys, if you don't receive these type of factors, if you don't receive acceptance, guess what? You go around looking for it everywhere. You're like a nomad. You know, if you're not accepted in one area, you're going to go somewhere else. And if somebody says anything negative about you, you lash out. How do I know? Sometimes I do it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, somebody will give me some constructive criticism and I will just take it the whole left field. And that's something that I'm still working on today, right? But it's as a child, you weren't accepted. Or you growing up, you weren't accepted by your friends or you weren't accepted by your family. So you look for acceptance everywhere, right? And it could be detrimental because you may find acceptance in a game. Right. So be careful of that. Number two, affection, right? And that's to show closeness through appropriate hugs or high fives or just any type of affection, right? I'm gonna be talking about single people, right? Because in marriage, affection, we know what affection is, right? But for single folks, it's not really necessarily about sex, right? It's, do you even like me? Are you willing to, be by me? Like, do you give me a handshake, a high five, right? You show my display of affection, I'm gonna give you a high five, or I'm gonna, give you a side hug or something, right? Affection. Do you show me affection? Do you even like me? The next one is approval. Guys, this is big because it's basically the need to feel approved. All right. Are you even proud of me? Are you proud of what I did? Do you speak highly of me in public and in private? This works for your business because, hey, somebody could make 10 pips in their trading account or somebody could hit a rank. Do you promote that? Are you willing to put the goal that they hit? Are you willing to promote them? Or are you willing to congratulate them for a goal that they hit? Or are you going to say, hey, well, yeah, you hit that goal, but I hit that in 3 days? Some people will take that as a grain of salt, but you have to be careful because you can't talk to everybody like that, right? You have to be willing to, are you willing to celebrate their accomplishments, right? Are you willing to celebrate? Are you willing to approve their goal? Oh, you made 10 pimps? Man, I'm proud of you, man. Oh, you've been killing it on the sessions. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Keep going, keep it up. Let your teammates know you approve of that. You approve them. Appreciation, right? Let's talk about it. The need to have accomplishments recognized with gratitude, right? It's like affirmations. I know some people on the team or some people in the business or some people in your life, their love language is words of affirmation, right? Their love language is words of affirmation. And basically what that is, hey, everything that if I do something that's good, are you going to recognize it with gratitude? Good job. How many of you growing up as a child, you know, had your mom appreciate you? Oh, Miracle, man, you washed the dishes before I even came home. Thank you. I'm so happy that you did that. I'm so glad that you took the trash out before I even got home, and I didn't even have to ask you, right? Or even when she did ask you, even when your mother or your father did ask you, hey, thank you for doing what I asked you to do. Thank you for washing the car. Thank you for washing the dishes. I'm proud of you. Not a lot of people got that as a child. And when you don't get that type of appreciation, or when you don't get that type of affirmation as a child, it shows up as an adult, right? The evidence shows up as an adult. So now maybe you're looking for affirmations in a relationship with your best friend, right? They're weak. Words of affirmation may be a weak love language for them, so they don't know how to do it. But you haven't got it as a child, so it's like it's going to show up as an adult, right? And it's performance based, right? So if you don't get affirmation as a child, now as an adult, you're going to be performing so somebody can recognize it. Well, if I get platinum 150, my mentor noticed me. If I reach this goal, then that person will like me. Maybe if I change the way I look, or maybe if I change my voice, then this person will like me and he'll acknowledge me, he'll recognize me. But I want to tell you something. If nobody appreciates you, I want to tell you that God does. God accepts you, he loves you, he appreciates you. He made you, right? But it's okay to be appreciated, right? It feels good to be appreciated by somebody you like, right? Most people need it. I know I do. I'm not worshiping it, but every now and then I like to hear it. And that's okay. So, attention. Do you notice me? Are you willing to listen to me? I may be going through something and I feel like talking to you. Are you willing to listen? Right? And not just listen to rebuttal, but are you listening to understand? Right? Most folks in life, in our sphere of influence, they go through a lot and they just need somebody to talk to. But if you're not willing to listen, listen to understand, then guess what? You're showing them that, oh, okay, well, I don't want to talk to you. Right? Now, I get it. We must be positive at all times. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm building 3 strong legs. I'm successful. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm reaching my goals. But every now and then you go through life and you need somebody to talk to. Hey man, I'm struggling, right? Hey man, I need help. I'm going through this. Man, life is just terrible for me, right? And you need to get that off of your chest. But if nobody's paying attention, guess what? It may lead you to acting out just so people can see you. You may do something that's not even in your character, just so somebody can notice that that's not even in your character. If you understand what I'm saying, or if you like what I'm saying, drop some 3s in the chat. If you understand what I'm saying, drop some 3s in the chat. So like, do you notice what I don't like? Do you pay attention to that? Do you see how I respond to life situations, right? If you do something that I don't like and I tell you about it, do you take consideration of that? All right. And there's some other ones, comfort. Hey, are you willing to comfort me through my tough times? Respect, that's a great one. Do you accept my beliefs? Do you accept, my point of view? You know, you don't necessarily have to agree with it, but do you respect it? If I ask you to do something and you don't, and I tell you and I don't do it, and I tell you why, do you respect it? Right? Do you respect that I may have a different point of view than you? I may see things differently, right? There's an old adage that says a house divided cannot stand, right? It's not necessarily if 2 people disagree. It's if 2 people disagree, do they still love each other? even though they don't agree all the time. It's not the disagreement that makes a house divided. It's the words after that. It's the attitude after the disagreement. It's the slander, right? Are you going to slander your brother because you don't agree with him? That's what divides the house, right? That's what divides the house. And that's what makes a house not be able to stand. Why? Because there's ego and just, you're slandering the person simply because you don't agree with how they move. All right. Encouragement. Does that person believe in you? Do you believe in your friend? Right? Are you telling them, hey, you can do it? You don't, when they feel discouraged and they need somebody, hey, are you willing to step up and say, hey, you can do this? You can hit that goal. You just got to get up and keep going. Support. That goes along with encouragement. Are you willing to support them? When they need your help, are you willing to help? Are you willing to even offer help? Right? Security. Now that's something problem in a relationship, because as a child, guess what? Security was needed. Well, for my childhood, I was secure, right? If I could be honest, I had a mother and a father, right? But I know a lot of people who don't have two parents, right? They may have a single mother or a single father, right? Most of my friends had single mothers. So the security wasn't there, right? The security wasn't there, right? The mother had to carry the load when it came to the financial security, even the emotional security. So when it came to the son or the daughter needing a hug, the mother would be like, well, I can't really hug you right now because I'm late for work. you know, Guys, I was raised on, I put food on the table, clothes on your back. Um, I gave you a roof over your head. I put, I was the one that got them groceries so you can have something to eat. Like, you need a hug from me, man, you better go hug them dishes. Go hug your room and clean it up. You ain't getting no hug from me. I gotta work. And if you listen, if you even build up the nerve to tell your parents how you feel, they consider it talking back. All right? That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up sometimes. So it made it hard for me to say, man, it made it hard for me to share my feelings. But that was as a child. I'm grown now. I can't really just blame my parents, right? Because they did the best that they could with what they knew how to do, right? They raised me the way they were raised. They taught me things that they were taught. And as a child, as a grown up, I have to raise the bar for my kid, right? As a grown up, you have to raise the bar for your kid. It's some things that your mother did or your father did with you that, hey, well, I didn't like the way she did that to me as a child. Let me not do that to my child, right? And these are just a few emotional needs. So how to deal with it. Number one, if somebody offended you or somebody didn't meet these needs, number one, you got to forgive them, right? They did the best that they could. But by you holding unforgiveness in your life, it's not really hurting them, it's hurting yourself, right? Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. And if you are guilty of hurting someone, reach out and apologize, right? Apologize to them. That's another one, right? If you're guilty, you apologize, right? If you're hurt, you deal with it and then you forgive the person that hurt you. If you're insecure, if somebody made you feel insecure, you forgive that person. right? If you're discouraged, if you're discouraged, go talk to somebody, get some encouragement. All right. And you need to know that with me, I encourage you to go harder, right? I encourage you to just get up there, get out there. Um, Respect, you feel disrespected, talk about it, right? Here's the thing with respect, you have to give it in order to earn it. You have to give respect in order to get respect. So if you're not receiving respect, ask yourself this: have I given it? Have I given respect to people who don't respect me? Right? My daughter over here. And there's more to it as well. There are more emotional needs. Guys, I encourage you to look these up, right? Look these up and get more definition, get more information about it, right? Identify what emotional needs that you have that weren't, you know, that you need, that you're struggling with, right? Find out which one of those are and find out how to deal with it, right? And guys, if you need somebody to talk to, hey, reach out. You have mentors on your teams, you have, friends. Reach out to somebody that's willing to listen, right? And then maybe they'll have an answer for you, right? And if they don't, you love them anyway. You love them anyway. You thank them for the advice that they gave, because eventually it may not be worth something now, but later on, you'll thank them, right? Sometimes the advice may not be for today. It may be down the line, right? It may be down the line that it may be good advice. So um just work on these, because guess what? Emotional strength is very vital, especially if you want to be successful in business. You gotta be strong in your emotions, right? And not necessarily, you know, holding them off, but actually dealing with them, right? Dealing with their emotions and sealing them up with good things. All right. So that is my time, ladies and gentlemen. Um, this has been Sunday Heart Check with Uncle T. If you guys like what I'm saying, for those of you who just came in, I'm recording this, so I will drop it in the chat. So if you like what I'm saying, drop some hearts in the chat. Please think about it, right? If there's something that stuck out to you, type it in the group in our chat. You can I'll be putting this on YouTube as well, so you can type that in the YouTube as well. All right. So with that being said, guys, this call is over. We'll see you guys at the top. My phone died. We'll see you guys at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. All right. But we'll never look down on anyone unless we're willing to help them up. Guys, before you do anything in life, make sure your heart is right. All right. This is Terrence McGee. Take care and God bless.